All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome on into the inaugural, the maiden voyage, the first of 2025 Diamond Talk. We got college baseball back tonight. Texas Tech, number 6, North Carolina, opening up in the cool pines of Chapel Hill, North Carolina today. We'll recap it. North Carolina takes the doubleheader. I doubt they play another game this weekend. There's good stuff, there's bad stuff, there's everything in between. We're just so happy to be talking college baseball on a Friday night. We can't wait to visit with you guys tonight. So you guys know what to do. The early arrivals, let us know the audio is good, the video is good, whether you're on YouTube, our YouTube channel, which everybody should subscribe to. Don't cost nothing. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube, on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter X, and on Facebook, where you watch on Facebook Live, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Easy to do. If you're watching on the YouTube channel particularly, please subscribe. We're close to 500, and that just blows it up. And that makes my wife feel good. And I'm doing a show on Valentine's night for you guys, and we're doing Valentine's tomorrow. So the least you can do for me tonight is drive us over 500 this weekend, man. That would be awesome. All right, so a lot of Tech baseball tonight. If time permits, you want to get into Tech basketball with Oklahoma State coming up tomorrow or anything else, we'll do that. But this is Diamond Talk, our long time tradition of talking Red Raider baseball with you. And even with 2 losses today, just happy it's back. All right, so let's do it in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Started your day on the website. You told us the most Texan thing you have done this week. Every week we ask you on Friday, what's the most Texan thing you've done? You can reply here tonight. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street, all the communication, chat line, and everything else, no matter the platform you're watching, fire it away. There's one supermarket that was taking care of you for Valentine's Day. There's one supermarket that has their name on the arena at Texas Tech. Then there's another one in town that sends your money somewhere else. United Supermarkets, Market Street. You know who to deal with. Domino's Pizza, one of our great sponsors. If you're not going out tonight, get it and bring it home or have it delivered. They have a great online special right now, $9.99, any pizza, any toppings. So yeah, not the crazy extra large one, but large pizza, $9.99, any toppings. How do you beat that? So don't make your wife cook tonight. Get some pizza. You guys can go out tomorrow if it hadn't already happened. We're also brought to you by the Shropshire Agency in Lubbock, Texas. Easy for me to say. Independently owned and operated for over nearly 70 years, I believe, right now. Find out what they can do for your insurance needs. They're independent, just like all great West Texans. Thank you, Shropshire Agency, for being a huge part of theraiderland.com and what we do here. All right, it's Diamond Talk. We're talking baseball. Let's get it going. What does Craig have to say? One of the first arrivals on Facebook tonight. Indeed, the talking box is on. Cheers to you. Happy Friday night. Happy baseball. Hold on. There we go. Alan on YouTube, our YouTube channel, which everybody's subscribing to tonight, right? This week and everything else. The vocal rectangle is on. So it's a rectangle and everything else. All right, you guys get in to get your comments going. Oh, the dogs are mad. The dogs here at La Hacienda, here at the home offices, the dogs are mad because my wife got home a few minutes ago and she had the audacity to not immediately come into the house. And they're like, well, why is she out there? We know she's here. Why is she not in here? They're mad. Timbo, YouTube. Most Texan things saw Terry Allen do Amarillo Highway at the Paramount Theater this week. Really? Hell yeah. Really? If that's the most Texan thing you did this week, sign me up. All right, let's talk some baseball. Texas Tech drops the doubleheader to number 6, North Carolina. 5-1, game 1. Shaky defense early on. Jack Siebert, your starting pitcher. I thought he pitched pretty good. If he'd had just a little bit of defense behind him, it's a different story in the early go. But he doesn't. And you have You ended up with one error. There were really two, I think, in the early go. And he threw an absolute beautiful double play ball. I think it was the second inning, botched, and you get what you get, and it's 5-1. Second game, 8-3, tied it up at 3, had the home run. Again, couldn't make it happen after that. Defense again shaky. Only one uh, only one error in each game, but the defense just wasn't there against a team as good as North Carolina. That you can't give them anything, particularly in the first game. You gave them some runs early on, and good heavens. Oh my goodness. How good is their pitching staff? Their pitching staff is freaking really, really good, right? And we knew that going in. And you saw it in the first game. You saw it in the first game where you're just going, okay, this guy is as advertised. And Carl, he shuts you down. This could be the number one pick overall that you saw in the first game. What were his numbers? Hold on, I got to go back here. Give me home stats. And yeah, so DeCaro, 5 innings, 76 pitches, 50 for strikes, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and he doesn't give up a hit until he's almost out of there. I think it was 2 outs before he gave up a hit in getting out of there. First game, you just couldn't stretch anything together. You couldn't make it happen offensively. You got the Pompey kitchen door, and we'll get to TJ Pompey in a minute. We have a Pompey question. You get your home run there in the first game. We'll get to that as we go through. 8-3 second game. At least you got more hits. 8 hits on the day. Couldn't do anything after you got it. Mac Hewer, I thought Mac Hewer looked really good. 4 innings. The hammer down curve was looking good. He was working good inside. What was he? 67 pitches, 40 strikes, 2 walks. And this is a good thing, too, today. Not a lot of walks by Texas Tech pitching. Again, the defense kind of let them down. You are playing the 6th-ranked team in the country. They're really good, okay? They're really good. So I want to get your thoughts, because here's my first thought overall. This is so much better than playing directional state, than playing Gardner-Webb, than playing teams with a hyphen in their name, Texas Southern. This is so much better than opening up with a 4-game slate against a bunch of nobodies. And you roll out 16 runs and 18 runs, and you learn nothing about how to compete. You learn nothing about how to be good. You learn nothing about what your strengths and your weaknesses are. I am so pleased to see Tim Tadlock able to put together the schedule he has put together for this team. And you're 0-2, and football guy, we'll get to football guy. Football guy, bless his heart, maybe you're having a hard time. But I would much rather be 0-2 against North Carolina at North Carolina today than 2-0 against crap teams. Baseball rewards RPI more than any sport, more than basketball, certainly more than football. Baseball, because of the long-term nature of the game, rewards you for playing these games. It'll be hard for some fans to understand that, and they'll go, oh, you got beat, And I don't think we're going to play another game this weekend. I hope the boys out there are getting some good barbecue. Barbecue, it's all right. Get the sweet sauce while you're out there, but load up on the coleslaw, man. Load up on the coleslaw. That may be the best thing about Carolina barbecue is the coleslaw. So I'd much rather see this program start off at a place like North Carolina against one of the top teams in the country, maybe the best pitching staff in America, maybe the best rotation in America right now, than do what they've done the last couple of years, all right? We'll get to some good stuff. There was good stuff. The pen was good in game 1. I thought the pen in game 1 was really good coming in for you. Liked the way they competed. Gave you some of that. And again, I don't think Jack Siebert was all that bad. He got victimized a little bit. In fact, I really don't have a whole lot of problem with the pitching today. All things being equal, you know. Let's see. That. Looking at that. Yeah. We'll get to that here in a minute, and we'll get to TJ Pompey as we go through. Football guy, says Alan Corbin on YouTube, at Ryan Hyatt, or not at Ryan Hyatt, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Sign up, everybody. Don't cost nothing. If you're watching on the YouTube channel tonight, please hit like. Please subscribe if you hadn't already do it. Please share with your friends. Football guy on Twitter X. We need to have a conversation about Tim Tadlock. Yeah. And the conversation is that he's a great baseball coach. Tim left the house right after beating Houston. So maybe last week. Okay. Well, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Whenever you saw him, it's good. Counts. Talking about Terry Allen. Situational hitting wasn't great. No. Hitting wasn't great. Good pitching. Really good pitching. Hitting wasn't great. You scrap, you get what you can get. And I never know. We used to, the old trope about the beginning of the year, pitching is ahead of hitting, or hitting could be ahead of pitching. The bats are ahead of the arms. I don't know anymore the way we do this stuff. So all I know is damn good pitching, proven pitching for North Carolina. The errors will continue until morale improves. Only 2 assigned today. However, it wasn't clean fielded. And we'll get to the TJ Pompey aspect of that. As I understand it, they are scheduled to come either next year or the year after next to Lubbock. That it was a home and home type deal. I believe that is the case. Jan, or it could be Jan. If you don't play good teams, you don't get any better. Pups need to tell Tessa that her first order of business is to feed them when they get home immediately. I've already fed the dogs. I fed the dogs. The dogs have been fed. The animals have been fed. No, they're just mad because they knew she pulled up. They knew she's here at the house, and then she didn't come immediately in. How dare she? What's she thinking? Stephen, most Texan thing described a sandstorm to a coworker that just moved here from Ohio. Stephen, when you say moved here, do you mean like Lubbock, West Texas or anything? And how did you describe it? How did you describe it? That would be a good question. Now let's talk about TJ Pompey. TJ Pompey can hit the hell out of the ball. Take it out of the ballpark. TJ Pompey last year, frustrating with the glove and, pretty dang good with the bat. TJ Pompey in the offseason, really good with the bat. Again, a national player. And again, today we see some of the same old things crop up. So football guy says, you can't put him out there. You can't put him on the field. He's a liability. Football guy may be right. If you've got options right now, defensively, if you got options defensively, and again, one of Tim Tadlock's great traits is, if you can hit, we'll find a place for your feet on the field. You may not have to do it this year, though. Now, does that mean he becomes the DH all the time? Don't know. Don't know for sure. But you got Bame over there at third. You got, there are things to do. I am open to the conversation, as Alan Corbin said. I'm open to the conversation about TJ Pompey not necessarily having to be in the field. And I know day one, overreaction, everything else. However, it's not just a recent thing. Dude, I want your bat out there. I want your bat out there. I want you in the lineup every single day. But if you're giving away a run, now you got to get 2. I don't know. I'm open to the conversation going forward regarding Pompey maybe being DH. All right, so we talked about different things in the games today. I thought the pitching was pretty good. Like the fact you didn't have a ton of walks today. I thought it was really good. We're going to assume that everybody got out of here healthy and everything else. And then the biggest thing after this is you played 2 games against a team that'll challenge for the ACC championship. Will obviously challenge and be in the mix for a top 8 national seed. And that's better than playing bad teams and beating bad teams week 1. It just is. And I know Texas Tech feels like, hey, we got to go on the road. It's hard to get people in. We might not always get people in. We're talking about a home and home, and I believe it's a home and home. But that's the reality. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. After that, what are your thoughts, man? You know, what are you thinking today? What did you like? Did you get a chance to watch it? Those who are watching on the ACC broadcast, the dude with the Yankee accent was driving people crazy. You know, but you guys are lucky that for the most part, ESPN Plus, Big 12 broadcaster are pretty good, and at least feel good about this. K-State today, Kansas State, not a bad team, legitimate Big 12 program, did not have radio or any broadcast for their game, that they did not send radio wherever they were playing. And I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus there because I like the people. They got sold a bill of goods, apparently, thinking that it was going to be broadcast in some form or fashion. So they didn't even have it. So those that were struggling today trying to get the ESPN broadcast, hi there, that crap was not working. Stat broadcast, for the most part today, was not working. But do we not have internet there at Chapel Hill? What was going on there? You know? What was going on there? So at least you got to see it. I mean, I go back in the day where, we were lucky to have all the games on radio for the most part, beginning in about, I want to say, by 91 or so, we had every Texas Tech baseball game on the radio. There might have been a few in 90, 91, 91, 92 that were road games, non-conference type stuff that weren't on the radio. But by then, we had most of them on the radio. And I was doing a lot of them for KJAC and different stations. But, they didn't even have their game on. So, hey, let's be happy here a little bit. All right. Back to the comments, questions. Diamond Talk brought to you by Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com, the Shropshire agency, locally owned and operated, independent, just like you. Find out what they can do for your insurance needs in 2025. They have a great Facebook page, great website. Go check it out. Hey, you want to do something cool when you like our sponsors and everything? Go to their Facebook pages and just tell them thanks for being a part of Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Jared, did we expect UNC to lay down because we're Tech? No, because they're UNC and you're Tech. They're better than you right now, Jared, and have been. UNC plays the game to win, just like Tech does. They made less fielding errors. Pompey to center field. That may work better. And I think you're liking Thompson and Johnson and that speed combination out there. UNC maybe thought Tech would lay down because UNC is better than Tech. Oh, yeah, talking about telling sandstorms to a coworker. Sandstorm is God's way of showing tough love. Keeps the weak from moving into his country. I like the way you put that. We call it Yankee repellent. Alan, back on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. Please subscribe. Don't cost nothing. And it grows the program and everything. ACC network commentators were awful. The color guy sounded like he was doing an impression from my cousin Benny. So two Utes up the middle. Jared, we streamed the game during my last 2 periods to teach today. I worked the game into my math lesson. Oh, Fascinated by this. What grade level? Because you can do all sorts of percentage and neat stuff on that. Dude, that's cool teaching right there. That's real world application. I like that. See, we need more teachers like Jared out there doing really good stuff and not worrying about the freaking test. Jan, or it could be Jan. If you got to watch the game, who was at fault on the dropped foul ball at home plate? Who called it? Radio said Poppy called for it. I couldn't tell in real time. It's going to be another long season. Yep, it's all over. There's football guy. There he is, everybody. Football. It's going to be another long season. Football guy is here. Hi, they were all down on Franklin Street. Franklin Street. Jared, did you teach your kids how to calculate earned run average, which is highly valuable, really? If you can do ERAs, it's a really good thing. You got to check this here. Oh, that's cool. I can't tell you I got a text message from, but it's cool. All right, a few more minutes. Diamond Talk, the initial broadcast. There ain't going to be no more Diamond Talk this weekend. Let's be real. They're not going to play another game. And I want to applaud North Carolina and Texas Tech and the coaches getting together yesterday and saying, if we want to get any games in, we got to play a doubleheader today. I've seen it far too many times over the years that they just sit around and go, well, the weather we could, anything else. Both these teams wanted to play these games. North Carolina wants to play Texas Tech because they believe Tech's going to be a good team in the Big 12, and that will help them get a a top 8 national seed. And that's what North Carolina is playing for. They want to be a top 8 national seed going into the postseason. Texas Tech needs it to get in the NCAA tournament, right? That's what they need. So you play this game and you get these 2 games in, and then tomorrow's probably not going to happen. All right, Randy Hyatt, is this Tech's last year to compete in baseball with a very low revenue share for baseball next year? This year, don't we have around 800,000 and next year being 300,000? I'm going to need more on what you're talking about. Are you talking about NIL, or are you talking about, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the expenditure by Texas Tech, or the $22.5 million that'll work through the school on how they pay players? Because that's totally different from NIL. But let me put it this way. Texas Tech is going to fully fund 34 scholarships next year. Texas Tech baseball NIL is not going to drop down. Texas Tech will be fully funded amongst the best of the schools across the country. So I kind of think what you're thinking is some of the stories we've seen about how Tech is going to allocate the spending within what Tech pays the players, the student athletes internally. That has nothing to do with NIL going beyond that. And Texas Tech will be just fine. I think maybe that's what we're getting at. But Tech will fully fund all scholarships. Texas Tech will fully fund NIL. And Texas Tech will fully be involved in college baseball at the highest level, fiduciary managed, as you can imagine, easy for me to say, imagine going forward. So it's not going to be a money thing doing that. Where are my scores? Let's get some scores going on here. Hold on a second. I want to see. Back this up. Give me Big 12 scores today, since we got a couple of minutes here and you guys can get your comments in and everything else. All right, come on. It's always dangerous when you click on something here. What'd you do there? All right, here we go. All right, finals around the league today. Kansas State lost at Brooks Stadium. They're in Conway, South Carolina. Washington gets them 9-2. Oklahoma State, 17th ranked. Clemson, 15th ranked. 6-5 Clemson. That was a big comeback win. Oklahoma State had them down early. Clemson came back on them. These are top 25, so I thought I had Big 12. What the heck? Oh, well. Arizona, Ole Miss, 2-1 there in Arlington at Globe Life. You got all right, here we go. Now we're populating. Cincinnati beats Duke. Big win for Cincinnati over number 11 Duke at Durham, North Carolina, 8-3. Baylor beats Youngstown State in Waco, 10-3. You've got a final in 10, Utah Pepperdine, and the Utes, the two Utes, actually probably 9, 3-1 over Pepperdine. Top of the 7th, West Virginia, Jacksonville, down in Florida, 4-1 West Virginia. We're in the bottom of the 4th, UCF in Siena. It's 4-1 Siena in Orlando. Bottom of the 4th, Kansas, A&M Corpus Christi down there at Whataburger Field in Corpus Christi, tied at 2. And then top of the 1st, Houston and Minnesota, down at Houston, 2-0 Minnesota. Later on tonight, it's Ohio State, Arizona State. They're at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. And then you got TCU and San Diego at San Diego, 23rd ranked Frogs. And BYU, the nightcap at Fresno, late night. You want to watch it? You can probably watch it on ESPN. 9:05 start, BYU and Fresno. So there are your scores from around the league. Really like that Cincinnati win over Duke. That's nice for the league. And don't hurt Utah getting a win. Need West Virginia to beat those people. Kansas State didn't even have a radio today. What? Come on, Kansas State. What are we doing? Fake Natalie Maines. NIL is going bye-bye next year. No, it's not. NIL is going nowhere. NIL will only increase. Why do you think NIL is going bye-bye? It's not going anywhere. Who told you NIL is going bye-bye? It doesn't change. What changes is the school has a $22.5 million budget to pay directly. NIL can continue. Heard Iowa State baseball pitched a no-hitter today to open the season. In the snow. It was a glorious game. It was beautiful. They were unstoppable. Iowa State baseball hadn't lost in almost 20-something years now. They're just that good. Yeah, we went up to Iowa State in 1998. Call a baseball series. Snow. I guess in my memory, we got one game in, I think. We got one game in. Maybe the only game, I'm pretty sure it's the only game Tech ever played at Iowa State. I think. Need to ask Finkner. I remember getting one game in, and then it snows, and then, it's like the NFL draft, and we bust down to Nebraska and play a midweek game at Nebraska, conference game, midweek game at Buck Belzer, finally get home. I think it was like a 10-day trip or something. Yeah. That's the way I remember it, That's the way I remember it. All right, last chance. Get your questions, comments, thoughts in. Texas Tech drops the doubleheader to open the season to North Carolina, and it's all right, people. It's okay. It's better than opening with 2 wins against crap teams. There were a lot of good things about it. I liked what we saw out of the bullpen in a lot of instances. And you got to get these new guys out there on the field and see what you got. And you're doing it against probably a top 8 team at the end of the year. So there you go. Alan, Big 12 needs to mandate all schools play baseball. Iowa State, Colorado are just partial members of the Big 12 as far as I'm concerned. I agree. There's no reason not to do it because if you can play softball, you can play baseball. It can be done. Those schools had it before. So, yes, you want to be in the Big 12, you got to play baseball. All right? I'm with Alan on that. You guys on YouTube, thanks for watching. Share this. If you hadn't subscribed, please subscribe and invite your friends. Everybody else, go to YouTube, subscribe, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Then all the people that aren't on Twitter X, go check us out there at Ryan Hyatt Media. And of course, we got our Facebook page, which is a lot of fun. We do a lot of cool stuff there. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on Facebook. We're going to archive this, put it on the website, theraiderland.com. We'll share it with you there. You can share that on Twitter and everything else after we get done tonight. Hope everybody's having a great Valentine Day. It's been a great start to college baseball today. If Texas Tech plays baseball this weekend, we'll have an update. I don't think they're going to be able to do that based on the weather. Freezing rains in the morning tomorrow. It warms up Sunday there, but it's just like 100% chance of rain. That's why they moved the Daytona 500 up, by the way, for Sunday. And they should always, by the way, start it at noon local time because it rains this time of year in the Southeast. So if we have more baseball, we'll jump in. We'll do another Diamond Talk. But we will absolutely have the Saturday column tomorrow, which it has no name. It's the column in search of a name. We can't call it 5 things we know on a Saturday because it's only 3 things. And it's already being used on Sunday for us. So if you got an idea for our column for Saturday, for the name of the column, please hit us up on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media or otherwise. But yeah, we'll be there on Saturday. We'll be there on Sunday. 5 things we know on a Sunday. All right. Enjoy the inaugural Diamond Talk of 2025. I hope the last time we do this will be in Omaha, Nebraska, coming up in June. I hope that's the way this thing plays out because you never know. I've seen it happen before, more than a few times.